Hi, I'm Coach Bev from Regal Awakening Educational Coaching Services. And today I am coming to discuss the topic You're 18, Get Out. Now, as an educator and as a parent and a friend of friends that have kids, I have noticed that in regards to the age of 18, some parents have different perspectives on when and how your children should get out. We're going to get deeper into this topic in a moment, but first, I have two announcements that I would like to make. And the first announcement that I am making is that this is the first video that I am doing since my mother passed a few months ago. I'm just happy to be back and making an attempt at making my videos again because there was a time when I wasn't sure if I was going to get back on. So I'm just glad that I made it back and I'm very excited. My daughter, which is my editor, is going to be so shocked when I send her this video. She's been pushing me to get back into doing my videos, and I didn't tell her that I was making this video today. I'm just going to tell her to check her box that we share the videos in, and she's going to be shocked. Okay, so that's another thing to make me excited. But yes, this is the first video I've done since my mom has passed. So I just want to say rest in peace, Mom. I love you. Now, we're going to have to go to the coffee corner in order for me to discuss the second reason why this episode is special to me. The second reason why this episode is special to me is because a very close dear friend of mine went to San Juan, Puerto Rico, and she thought enough of me to bring me back a bag of coffee that I can use to do a coffee corner. Touched me deeply. So as you can see, it comes in this nice bag, and the coffee is nestled nicely and neatly in the bag. Now, the coffee is called Cafe Oro de Puerto Rico. Look at that. Look at the presentation. It's just so beautiful. That just touched me deeply. Thanks, Dee. I really appreciate you thinking about me. So, yes, I have made a cup. Yes, I have. I've made a cup. And I'm going to taste it and see if it's great, how it lives up and everything. I'm just very excited. Now, it smells very strong, and I would say that the bag was sealed very tight. I had to get creative with opening the bag so that I would be able to preserve the presentation. So it was sealed tight. The coffee is very fresh and it smells strong. Okay, I could taste the beans. This would definitely be like in a stronger coffee type of category. So I'm going to give it a taste. And of course, I love it. It's good. It's good. Yes, it is. I taste undertones of chocolate as well. It's very nice, rich coffee. I'm really enjoying it. I think I'll drink this coffee like on an evening when I'm feeling especially decadent. And I may sit out on the patio and sip a cup of this at night. This will be like a special occasion type of coffee, okay? And as you can see, I'm having a problem putting it out, but I'm getting ready to. One more sip. All right. Thanks, Dee, for the coffee. Okay, as an educator, as a mother, and as a friend to other women that have kids, we all, in some type of way, discuss the age of 18 with our kids. And the age of 18 comes with different sets of expectations depending on the type of parent that you are. There are parents that handle children turning 18 in completely different ways. For some parents, it really doesn't mean anything. You're 18, okay, we're just going to keep it rolling until whenever you decide something is going to happen or whatever. Then you have some parents that have a set of expectations lined up that they would like for their children to have met by the time they've reached 18. And then we have some parents that want our children to just as soon as they turn 18, they're on their own. And what's unfortunate about this scenario is that some parents aren't even giving consideration into the level of preparation the child has to tackle the real world, or what, you're 18, you have to go. So I have compiled a list of 3 different types of parents and the different methods that you can use in order to help your child to transition into this stage of adulthood that is expected for children to reach when they turn the age of 18, if indeed there is the expectation for you. Okay? So we start raising our kids, we're putting in these values and everything, and the child, everything chug along. We do birthday parties, with everything. We're just living, we're going grade after grade, and eventually the child has turned 18 years old. Now, depending on the type of preparation and things that you have instilled, values that you have instilled into your children, this is really going to determine the direction in which your child is going to decide to take. Now, if you didn't do as well as you would have liked to do in the child rearing process, and perhaps your child takes a less appealing approach at life, I would just like to say don't give up, because some kids are late bloomers. Some of them will come around to it and get it. But I do think that it is important that you have instilled some type of values and motivation and knowledge into your child throughout the years, so that they will have something to fall back on as they're out there trying to walk through these muddy waters of life. So the first person that I would like to discuss is the I don't care, get out parent. And I want to discuss this parent because I want to just go ahead and get out the way what I don't think is the best way. Okay, this is just my opinion. I have had students that were actually sitting in class stressed and couldn't focus in class because they were turning 18 and they did not have any type of idea or anything with what they were going to do with their lives. The children, they're very stressed. I don't know if it's fair to the child. I don't think that it's fair to the child to just, you're 18, get out, go. I don't care where you go. I don't care what you do. Just go. I don't agree with that method. So we want to just go ahead on and get that out the way so we can start discussing the positive ways in which we can help our children transition into adulthood. Okay? Now, the first way, the most common way, the way that we hear a lot about, and whether or not you think of it in this way of transitioning to adulthood or not, it's one of the best ways, and that way is college. Now, with college, you get a lot of bang for your buck when it comes to allowing your kids to transition into adulthood. You get more bang for your buck if indeed the child is staying on campus. Okay? Now, this is not an easy thing for parents, because if you're anything like me, when you had to kick your child out of the nest and send them to a college campus, it was a process. It was very hard. It was hard for me. the first time. And the second time that I got ready to do it, I thought that I was going to have a panic attack. But luckily, he stayed home and went to college from home. COVID hit and kind of made that decision a little easier for us to make. So, if your child goes to college and moves on campus, your child is going to get a round robin of life lessons and skills packed into 4 years. And if done correctly, when the child does graduate from college, they will be prepared for living on their own. Children learn the value of a dollar. This is a great way for them to be out there on their own and possibly have to do work study or have to work. And then they start to see, oh my goodness, um how does this dollar is gone so quick? It took me so long to make it. They start to get those work ethic and those work values, and they start to get a respect for money as the result of having earned it and then having to use it to sustain some parts of their livelihood, and having to do this continuously in order to sustain themselves. It teaches them valuable lessons in that area. Self-discovery, the child is learning that they can indeed succeed, meet challenges as they come and overcome them, learn the proper ways in which to tackle these challenges and everything. And again, they're out there on their own. They might be calling you for advice, but they're in their own space, and you're coaching them, but they are navigating the waters on their own. So they're getting valuable self-discovery skills. Careers, they're starting their careers. They're getting educated. Their mind is being transformed. It's just the best way, I believe, for a child to transition into being on their own. The child is leaving the first year. If you're lucky too, the child will come home for holidays and vacations and summer break. It's a great possibility that by junior and senior year, the child would decrease in coming home and wanting to be there, because they will have established their own type of life and activities and friends, and you're just going to see them blossom and grow. And it's bittersweet, but it's what we hoped for, right? So college to me is the big bang for the buck. They get it all without actually being out there on their own trying to tackle the world. It's like the prerequisite to real world, okay? The second option the second way that a parent can transition their child into the real world is allowing them to work from home. Now, for me, work from home would entail going to school or doing some type of goal that you're going to be working on that is going to help you move to the next level. Not just staying home, sleeping upstairs in the room, and working at McDonald's, and you're good with that. That is not the way I envision it when I see work from home. I envision you're working towards a goal. You're working towards your future. You just happen to be here for an extended amount of time. And while you're doing that, you're going to work and you're going to have some type of responsibility. You're going to have a bill or two that you're going to pay so that you can understand the value. You're going to get those skills that you would have gotten if you had went to college. So we're not just sleeping in the house and not trying to navigate. However, I do take into account that not every child is going to go to college. And of course, this would be a completely scenario for a child that's not able or eligible, or just everybody's not meant for college. Okay, so some people will just want to graduate high school and just work. And to that child, I would say, okay, so then you need a trade. So what will your trade be? You need to pick up a trade. No, you don't. You don't want to go to college. I respect that. But what is your trade? Because a good trade, we all know, will help somebody to get on their feet. And a lot of these trades pay great money because a lot of people don't want to do them. So if you think of a trade like a plumber, like plumbers are making great money, electricians, the HVAC person, if you've ever had to call the HVAC company to your home to work on your air conditioning unit, you will understand that there is definitely money in that. So what trade? Welding, okay, great money. Construction. So if you're not going to go to college, we're still going to find a trade or a niche for you to break into that will have longevity and stability for you. So no, we won't be doing fast food for the next 10 years, but to each parent is own. And again, if that fast food is all your child is capable of, then you will have to do what you have to do. So that is my perspective on working from home. You're going to school while you're working, or you are trying to break into a trade. And I will probably give a specified amount of time for that child to obtain that goal. And I would be advising them and helping them along and to navigate the process of obtaining that goal, because regardless of what the child chooses, self-sufficiency is the end game. I know it is for me. I don't know about anybody else, but self-sufficiency is the end game regardless of how it is achieved. Okay. Now, my third way is military. Okay. Now, I tell all of my children know it's either college or military. Those are the two options that my children have. So if you feel as if you do not want to go to college, you need to pick a branch that you would like to serve in, and you need to pursue that area. Okay, college or military. Now, would I choose the military for my kids? No. But there are a lot of pros to joining the military. Okay, and depending on the age that you are in, I'm pretty sure a lot of us have looked back and said, wow, I probably should have did the military, because right about now, I would be retired. I would have all these benefits. I would be able to go buy a home. My kids would go to college for free. Like, the benefits, if you have longevity in the military, are great. But there are some cons that concern me. So that is why I wouldn't choose the military for my children. But if I had a child that chose the military, I would definitely support them in that. Okay. And if my child did go to the military, I would prefer the Air Force or the Navy. Now, those are my two choices, but again, it would be their decision. But I would just hope that it would be Air Force or Navy. Okay. So those are my three ways that I think that you could possibly encourage your children to go in a different direction, because whether we believe it or not, adulthood is going to come to us all if we're blessed to continue to live. So most definitely, those would be some great ways, and they're not the only way. It's not the only way. If you think of a way that makes sense for you and your family and it allows you to sleep at night, then by all means choose that method. But those are just 3 suggestions. And at the end of the day, they still require some preparation from the children, from you to have been involved in giving them some guidance up until this point in their lives. Okay, so if you have any questions or comments, you can send them to me at support@regalawakening.com. You can find me on Facebook at Regal Awakening. And I have a website that is www.regalawakening.com. Our goal is to awaken you to your kingdom. All right. And one of the ways that we would like to pursue our kingdom greatness is through education. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the page if you like the video. I'm Coach Bev, and thank you for joining me. Have a nice day.